Our video today is about boxing and Donald Trump's victory at the same time. Don't be surprised, that's right. On November 5th, elections were held in the United States of America. Donald Trump became the 47th president. UFC head Dana White spoke about Donald Trump from the stage in front of the US people. It's karma, ladies and gentlemen. No one deserves it more than the Trump family. That's what happens when a car comes at you. He wasn't stopped. He keeps moving forward. The most cheerful man I know. He deserves it. Thank you, America, White said. Boxing owes Donald Trump a huge debt of gratitude for one of the sport's most important acts of justice, inclusion, and zero tolerance for racial discrimination. World champion Jack Johnson was the first black boxer to be crowned heavyweight champion in the early 20th century when he won the title in Australia. The fight that followed would determine his ultimate fate. His opponent, James Jeffries, was a former world champion brought out of retirement to face Johnson and nicknamed the Great White Hope because it was necessary for the heavyweight title to return to white supremacy. The exact opposite happened. The champion angered many white people because he did not suppress himself or act with restraint, but used his power and fame to make a big deal about himself. He dressed flamboyantly, drove flashy cars, flaunted his success, and his women were all white. In 1913, he was tried and sentenced to a year in prison. His crime was driving a car in the company of a white woman, his wife, and crossing from one state to another. He was forced to flee the country, and upon his return 5 years later, he was jailed and stripped of all his property. Johnson died in poverty in 1946, considered a criminal under American law. Over the decades, under the leadership of Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard and others, there have been numerous attempts to right, rectify, repay, and redress the grave injustice caused by vile racism, with the absolute and unconditional support of the WBC. The goal was to obtain a presidential pardon and clear the name of the great champion. The petition passed through the Senate and landed on the desks of Presidents George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama, but none of them granted the pardon. On May 24, 2018, Donald Trump granted a presidential pardon to Jack Johnson and presented the certificate to Jack's great niece, Linda Haywood, RIP, at a historic event in the Oval Office of the White House. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on what's happening.